Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Where are we? That's what you're wondering. Well, we're on the outer extremities of Kathikas village, up in the hills, up in the mountains above Paya, and we're heading out towards Paphos town. It's going to take us around about 15 to 20 minutes, subject to the traffic. Quite early in the morning, and as you can see, the sun is blazing down on us today. Slowly but surely, summer is arriving. There's no doubt about that. So if you're looking for somewhere special, somewhere spectacular to come for a holiday, whether it be a weekend, a fortnight, or perhaps even the rest of your life, Paphos should be at the very, very top of your list. Great place to come, great people, and if you come over, you're going to get a great holiday, that's for sure. Often people come back again, and again, especially if your name is Baroness Louise, who likes a cheese board barn hawk. There we are. Right, so we're going to slowly exit the village, and we're going to drop down. You're going to get some great views, and we're going to join the main Paphos to Polis road, or the main Polis to Paphos road, depending on which way you are coming from. So technically we're going to join it from the Polis to Paphos side in the village of Stromby, and then we're going to wiggle and waggle, drop down, climb up, drop down, and then eventually descend into Paphos. And it's a nice drive, that's for sure. Whether you're doing it for pleasure or for some other reason, like myself today, we've come up to pick up a car from the village of Inia. The gentleman's got a problem with his Navara pickup, and we've stolen it, as I say. We'll have a fix of it, and then we'll come back and have a very good rummage in his wallet. And just before he starts to winch too much, we'll do a runner. There we go. Right, so the weather, if you're wondering, perhaps if your name is Mr. Horn, you've got a husband called Mr. Sean, a little cat called Miss Daisy, and a dog called Bobo, who's frantically looking for Mr. Sean's wallet again because he fancies buying Mr. Paul a coffee or two. There we are. Well, the weather today is in and around about 18 degrees. Remember, it's pretty early. They're forecasting a high of 21 degrees today, so we're not doing too bad. May is rapidly approaching. We have a week to go, and technically the summer season will be upon us, and it's going to get warmer and warmer. There's no doubt about that, because everyone knows that the well, in general, May, June, July, August, September, and into October, we have quite a long summer season in downtown Paphos, that is for sure. Some great views about to come up, because we are transversing on like a bit of a plateau as we come from Kathikas, as we head to join into the village of Stromby. Lots of people live up here, by the way, obviously, locals and foreigners, and of course there's quite a few tourist villas up in this area as well. But if you are going to rent a villa up in Kathikas, Stromby area, don't forget that you will need a car. You will need some form of transport, a hire car, or steal a car, or borrow a car, or perhaps someone will kindly loan you a car. But don't be thinking it's walking distance to Paphos. Well, you probably could do it, but you're going to spend an awful lot of your holiday walking up and down, that's for sure. So we're starting our descent. As we come through this next series of bends, you're going to get a spectacular view as we look out across the plateau and look out towards the Troodos Mountains even. There's a couple of cyclists coming up. They're getting a bit of an escort by the looks of it. A truly spectacular day today. There's still a little bit of dustiness, should we say, in the sky. It's hinting it's blue, but it's certainly very, very blue, and the sun is glistening, that's for sure. And of course the sea, I promise you, that's blue. Mr. Paul, he's dressed head to toe in blue. All that's missing is you, so why not get yourself on a big bird or a canoe and start paddling like crazy, because Cyprus, myself and Marika are quite simply waiting for you. On that note, if you want to keep us making these videos, how does it work? That's what we say, isn't it? How does it work? Well, the funding for the channel comes from a little thing called Buy Me a Coffee. That's a little icon that you will find on our About page, so click through to that and please consider to buy us a coffee or two. We will take your money, liquefy it, pop it in the tank, and we will will continue to make these special videos for you. And if you've got a special video request, again, drop it in the comments, coffee or two, and we will endeavour to make that special video for you. The other day we made a special video for a superstar known as Tony Rhodes, and she's the wonderful partner in crime of Mr. Matt Rhodes, and he wanted to surprise his wife on her birthday, and on top of that he wanted to announce that they're having a surprise holiday to Paphos. So he requested that I did it, and apparently she melted, and they had a spectacular day, and we even had tears. So between the two of us, we obviously made Tony's day, and we look forward to seeing you in June, Mr. Matt and Miss Tony, and hopefully we're going to catch you on camera, and hopefully we can be friends for the rest of our lives. Now we're about to join the main road from Paphos to Paphos. A lot of people have asked about this road, and it's not a bad road, although it is a road to treat with huge respect, if you understand me. Unfortunately, a lot of people travel on this road too quickly, and shall we say overestimate their driving talent, and most people in Cyprus do not have any driving talent whatsoever, and on top of that they like to tonk on a cigarette and a frappe, and more often than not they are wearing flip-flops to boot. So please be very aware that when you're on these roads, stick to the speed limits, and do not get into a bit of a race with anybody. It's not worth it. There are boys in blue around as well, so they're waiting for you to go over that speed limit, and they're going to zap your credit card, that's for sure. Now we're entering Stromby village, and we're going to descend through Stromby. We've got the older part on the left, and then the newer part on the right hand side. You've got a great kiosk mini market coming up on our left hand side now, and well, a nice view as we start on our descent towards Paphos. And the roads, well, the road surfaces are not very good in Paphos, although I know this is now a common problem all over the world, isn't it? So if your name is Lady so sweet Caroline, get your bottom on a memory foam pillow. But just before you do, pour a tot or two for the superstar known as the Lord Nigel Big Guns. Although he probably won't be disturbed that much, he's probably having a look through the Breitling catalogue, choosing his next acquisition or two. Although he's thinking about changing his car, wasn't he? He's looking at a new Range Rover or something like that, wasn't it? Range Rover Evoque, I think he fancies. So I'll tell you what, Nigel, you send it over to us, I'll give it a good test drive. When it's knackered, I'll send it back. And a very good morning to Miss Ellie as well. Hopefully Barney the dog's feeling all right. And talking about doggies, hopefully Mr. Blue is resting nicely in the back of the Defender of Lord and Rich, and hopefully finds Mr. Sean Broad very comfortable in the back. And also we'll say good morning to Mr. Ollie. So JJ Tonic, Mr. Andy, hopefully Ollie is recovering from being tampered with, and hopefully you're hanging out in those lanes of North Staffordshire. And as I understand it, Andy and Ness are still trying to hunt down the black Range Rover. What's going on here? Eh? There's lorries and buses and all sorts of things going on. I don't think anyone knows what's going on here. Let's get round them, shall we? There's a bit of tarmacking going on down the road, hence why all these big tarmacadden lorries are parked up. So this is the descent through Stromby. That was the police station on the right hand side. So again, I warn you now, on this stretch of road, more often than not, there was a captain or two standing around with a speed gun, and they take great pleasure in catching you if you're going over the speed limit. Speed limit's 50. In Cyprus they are quite lax, and you're allowed to go to 69 kilometres. Yes, you heard me correctly. 19 kilometres over the speed limit before they will even bat an eyelid. So, as I say to everyone, if you travel around at 60 kilometres an hour, nobody will even notice you, and you'll get there just as fast or just as slow, as the case may be, with the traffic and those kind of things. But 60 and you will be fine. So that's the end of Stromby. What's the price of petrol today? €1.48.9. So in dollars that's about €1.70 a litre. In pounds that's about £1.40, isn't it? So there we go. It's come down from its peak, shall we say, but it's certainly not cheap. Perhaps I should get myself a push bike. Although we wouldn't get very far, would we, on a push bike? Although I'd probably get much fitter and much more healthy. So anyway, as we wiggle and waggle through the lowlands of Stromby, we will then start to climb up, and we're going to end up into Tsada. And from Tsada you get a spectacular view down towards the blue Mediterranean Sea. Viking Ronnie corrected me, and of course I meant feet. He is correct. It's about 600 metres above sea level into Tsada, so that's approximately 2,000 feet, isn't it? See, because I'm British, we get confused with all these kind of things. But in the winter, you can get a bit of snow up there, that's for sure. Didn't happen this winter, but I think 2 winters ago, they did have a very, very good covering of the white stuff. Now, big shout out to some of the stars of the show. Obviously, Dame Anne, she's the girl in charge of pretty much about everything on the channel known as Marika and Me, and she's frantically watching the Jet2 app as it counts down, and she'll be coming to Paphos very, very soon. There's a special room on a top floor with a spectacular view of the sunset waiting for her in the Alexander the Great Hotel. Alex is waiting, Stavros is chumping on the bit, and she'll be here very, very soon indeed. Many other people like that hotel. Andy and Nessie are coming out in September, isn't it? Fiona Cameron, she's coming out. Miss Maggie, she's coming out. Lots of people, they love the hotel. Lord Richard and Julie Nash, they had a great stay in that hotel. And Viscount Leo, their son, he said it was a lovely hotel, and he's looking forward to coming back again very, very soon. Some of the other people who are on the show: the superstar known as Anna Star, greatest lawyer in downtown Poland, and of course she's in charge of all of the legalities on the channel known as Marika and Me. We've got Viking Ronnie all the way up in Denmark, originally from Israel. He's in charge of all the tongue twisting and the photography and those kind of things. And then of course the superstar in charge of all of the policing, the chief constable of Marika and Me, the one and only Ronnie Miller, who's coming out of Paphos in a couple of weeks. So you never know, we might catch him on camera. We may get him to do the Chuchkin dance through the Cape of Paphos harbour. You never know. We might go and hunt him down and catch him in T&J's fish and chip shop like we did last time. So there's other people coming into town, as we say. Anna Star's coming into town very, very soon. We've got Kath and Stephen from Inverness. They're in Paphos as we speak. Hopefully I'm going to bump into them today. The Barnhawks, that's Baron John and Baroness Louise, they're in town. They're leaving tomorrow, so I'm going to have a coffee with them a little bit later. This lorry's not doing too bad, is he, to be honest? He's got a half load, I would say. And we are now climbing up towards Tsada. And I'm pretty sure that you can see the sky is looking absolutely spectacular. There's no doubt that we are living in paradise. And well, you know what you do, get onto the Tinternet and book that holiday, because Paphos is waiting for you. Now I'm going to say thanks for watching, and if you do like what you see, want to hit the like, click subscribe, and perhaps come back for a little bit more of my complete and utter insanity. You never know, in the next video I may have got round this lorry, because there's a straight just coming up, and let's give it a bit of the juice and see just how quick this old girl is if it's clear. Ooh, there's a car coming, but we're going to give it a go in a minute. There's a man on a moped coming, so there we are. I'll relax and chill back and wait for the next little straight. Even I've got a bus stuck up my bottom, by the way. There we are. Welcome to the roads of Paphos, shall we say. A lot of frustrated people driving around. Why? I don't know. Because we're living in downtown paradise, that's for sure. This is a bit of a short straight coming up here, so we'll wait for the next bend, and then we'll go out and we will transcend up to the top of the village known as Tsada. Don't forget to come back for the next episode. Then you're going to watch us going down into the metropolis known as Paphos, and then we're going to exit and go up the highway on the Limassol roundabout, because of course we're off to the workshop. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you very, very soon.